Let's break down a conversation about differing needs around sex. We're gonna do a role play and then break it down piece by piece so you can see what's happening, why this conversation is good, and tools and strategies you can utilize and bring into your own relationship. Hey there, I'm Lauren. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist specializing in relationship and sex therapy. Role play time. Honey, there's something I wanna talk to you about. I've been feeling really disconnected lately, and we haven't been having sex very much, and that's an important way for me to connect with you. The story I tell myself is that when we don't have sex, that you're not attracted to me and you don't love me. I totally get that. I know we haven't been having sex much lately, and I know how it impacts you, and I don't want you to feel that way because I am attracted to you and I love you. I also know that me just saying that in this moment doesn't change how you feel. I want to work on this together because I have some feelings about this too. I appreciate that, honey. Logically, I know that you're attracted to me and you love me. It's just in those moments I feel really low, and I wanted to talk to you about it instead of holding it in and getting bigger, because I know you also have feelings about this, so I want to work through it. Sex is important to me too, and I do want to connect. I've been so stressed with work lately, and then I come home and there's all this stuff in the house to do. It's just hard to even think about sex. I recognize that you've had a ton on your plate and I don't want to add any more to it. Actually, how can I take something off your plate so you feel less stressed? It'd be really helpful to revisit a conversation about how we're dividing labor in the household. That way I can feel like we're on a team and we're working on it together and I feel less alone and actually maybe take some stuff off my plate. Absolutely. And I want you to know that we don't actually have to have sex for me to feel physically close to you. We can snuggle, or I can give you a massage, or we can even shower together. That would help me feel connected to you. I actually really love those things too. Those help me feel connected to you as well. I just worry that if I say yes to any of those things, that you're gonna think it's a yes to sex, and then I feel bad and I feel pressure. So I just actually avoid those things altogether. Oh, I didn't know that those things were ways that you like to connect too. I thought you didn't enjoy them, so I kind of stopped asking about them. But it makes sense now that it was feeling like a lot of pressure and guilt, and so you maybe weren't as responsive to them. Yeah, and it sucks because I do connect with you that way too. Why don't we do this? Why don't we call it out when we just want to physically connect, but we take sex off the table? So we both know what to expect, there's no pressure or guilt, and we can both get our needs met. We can say, we're just gonna connect, and then we both know that sex isn't on the menu. I love that. Let's do it. Let's break it down piece by piece. When partner A approaches partner B, they start in a non-defensive way. They're not blaming, attacking, or criticizing, saying, you're not having sex with me, this is your fault. They approach with owning their own feelings. I'm feeling disconnected. And they use the phrase, the story I tell myself, which is a really key phrase because it allows your partner to understand the narrative that's coming into your head without them feeling like this is what you are actually saying is true. By saying, this is the story I tell myself, it recognizes that this may not actually be what's happening, but this is what's coming up for me. It gives you and your partner the opportunity to clarify and challenge that narrative. This is key when approaching your partner about any issue of taking responsibility for your own feelings. This means using statements like, I feel, I think, and letting your partner know what's happening from your perspective. This helps lower your partner's defensive because as soon as we come at you, you're doing this, you, what do? We put up our wall, we go into protective mode, and that's not a very productive place to have a conversation. When we own our feelings and come from a vulnerable place, it's a lot easier to work together. Now, it's important not to try and sneak in a blaming statement. How this might look is, I feel that you never. That's not a feeling statement. It should always be I feel and then use a feeling. And if you need help identifying feelings, utilize something like the feelings wheel pillow that I have behind me. Partner B responded in a really helpful way. They didn't get defensive, they didn't attack or blame their partner for bringing these things up. They were able to reflect back what they were hearing and validate their experience. They were able to say, I hear you, that makes sense. I know this is how this impacts you. That helps partner A feel heard and understood and feel collaborative, where each partner can express themselves and feel like you're working on the same team to resolve the issue. Something helpful that partner B also did is waited to share their perspective. They made sure partner A felt heard and understood first. Partner A validates partner B's perspective. It's a dance between two partners, validating, reflecting, validating, and reflecting, and back and forth. This allows each partner to build trust that if I share something, it's going to be received and heard by my partner. The couple then works together to address the problem. The couple is able to acknowledge and own that each of them have a part in this, recognizing that their behavior impacts their partner and how that experience might be for their partner. This is really collaborative and about the partners fighting the issue as a team rather than fighting each other, which is where you get stuck and feel disconnected and hurt and not a good space to be. Because they were able to both share their feelings and understand where each partner was coming from, they're able to find a solution that actually works. All too often couples jump so quickly to solution mode, but you don't actually know what's going on. So how are you going to be able to find a solution that actually works if you don't really understand what's happening for both partners? We go there because it's safer. Because what you have to do to understand what's going on is get really vulnerable and share your deeper feelings. But when you're able to do that, you're going to be able to find a solution if you even need that. Sometimes we just need to hear each other. But if you need a solution like this couple came up with, you're better able to find a solution that's going to actually work for you guys when you understand what's happening for each of you. This couple was able to identify, we actually have the same need of connecting physically without sex, and that's important for both of them. But because of how they had patterns in the past, they were both moving away from that behavior and feeling dissatisfied. Now they understand why they were both moving away, what it means to them, so they can find a solution that works for both of them. Your conversations with your partner may not always go this smoothly. It may take a little bit more back and forth, getting yourselves back on track. It may even require you guys to take some breaks. Breaks are okay. Contain those breaks. What I mean by that is acknowledge, hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need to take a break. Let's come back to this in an hour because I really want to hear what you have to say and I'm not in the space to do that. That containment includes validating that you want to hear your partner, that what they have to say is important, and that you guys are going to come back and then you come back to it. That builds trust in when taking those breaks. Some of the main takeaways from this are that you are reflecting back and validating your partner's experience and moving in that dance between each other so you guys both feel heard and understood, so it can feel collaborative. And do that before you ever get to problem solving. And again, sometimes you don't actually need to solve a problem, you just need to feel heard. Sometimes we can come up with a solution that helps, but again, we first have to understand what the deeper underlying issue actually is and what it means for each partner. If you like content like this on relationships, be sure to follow along and subscribe.